sometimes we can't change the whole world, but we can change the world around us. And we start from there.
This is really important because everything affects one another.
Community organizing has played such a historical role in bringing about change. And sometimes you'll hear it referred to as like grassroots organizing, and that just means that it's like bottom up, right? So it's like all of us in the community who have to live with the impacts of decisions that like a lot of the times we're not invited to make. So community organizing is just like connecting with everybody who's impacted by the decisions.
You have to know how to communicate with people, and you have to find your role in it and use your personality. Don't like mold who you are to try to fit into something. We all have special talents, you know.
And if you have ever been in a place where you feel disempowered or you feel like you don't have power or hope, find community organizing in wherever you live, right? Because that's like our whole purpose, is to remind every person of their own power and how much we actually can and have accomplished throughout history.
If you're a youth and you want to come and you want to get involved, you know, there's a space for you.
The other biggest lesson I've learned is that every single person can lead, every single person can teach, and every person in the world can have impact.
I right away was like, this is something I want to do. And I think it takes conversation. It takes, breaking those barriers where it's like, feels like a more now than ever a responsibility. We should be talking about it. We should be having these conversations, not just with our family, but within our community.
I've always had an activist background, even when I didn't know it. Being a mentor is probably the best part of my job. Until someone takes it away or something happens to me, it's something I'm going to continue to do, and it's more powerful than having the job itself. To me, it's important because I wouldn't want to see, the same patterns repeated. And that's all I see, is repeated patterns of society. And to change that in one or two people, or one at a time, I think that's valuable, because it just takes one person and to change the world. I think growing up, having dealt with injustice and seeing injustice around me, wanting to know how do I fight against that. It wasn't easy, but art has always been an outlet for me, and I learned how to use art as a medium to empower myself.
From civil rights organizing to gender justice organizing to immigration organizing, all of these organizings are all centered on bringing community voices to decision making and empowering the people most impacted. So it has a huge impact. We aren't always taught the impact, but we can see it very clearly historically. So we're launching like Latinx programs here in the Valley, because we know that Latinos and Latinx folks are some of the folks who are being most impacted right now by climate change. Just like the Latina cohort that just finished up, it was a 6-week program with 14 Latinas from the Rogue Valley called Cafecitos y Acción, where we would just like get together, eat food, drink coffee, and figure out how we're going to move forward work in our communities. And they wrote trainings together. So it's always adapting, because that's where we really start to do deep organizing work, is in sharing our skills. It was becoming aware of all these intersections of like, oh my gosh, all of these things that I care about, that I want to work on, actually all share like root causes. And when that clicked, I was like, wow, I don't have to pick between like immigration law and environmental law or like anything, right? I don't have to pick, I can work at the intersection of all of those things. And that's why this work is important to me, because it's like to try to minimize impacts and acknowledge that like we have done a lot of really uncool things that are impacting other people. But it's never too late to be better about it and to tell a different story and to have a different truth. We have got the power.